Right, welcome to another one of my instance guides here on AURO. This one will be about the Old Glast Heim instance. Now, I'm starting off in Uno, whatever how it's called, to show you guys how to get there. Before we do that though, you need to make sure you have a couple of things on you. You want a deadly armor, which is an evil druid card, right? And you want an evil armor, which is a battery card, okay? Now on top of this, you will want to bring, I'm using a Leo crown for fire converter for certain spots, right? You could also use just a fire converter, that will be just fine. Aside from that, a couple of tokens of Siegfried is always handy to have. There we go, I'm gonna take out a few just in case. Alright, now let's get going. I think that covers everything that's a must-have. Right. You go this, and you go to Giffen. I believe it's pronounced Giffen anyway. Alright. If you can see where I'm going here, I'm taking a left from Giffen. While we're going there, I'll talk a little bit about the instance. It's 140 plus. To solo it, you probably need a bit higher than that, but depending on your gear, of course, and all that. But this is for the GX class, so I'll be showing you how I do this. Now I'm using teleport clip. If you watch the minimap, you can either go up or left. I'm gonna choose to go left. So it's from Giffen, it's left, basically. So you go out and then take a left again, right? Then you reach the petite map, and then you go north. Whenever teleport allows me to do that, right? Rightward hat is a very good thing to have here as well as life leech. I'm using a Devi backpack, but I am aware that most of you will probably not have a Devi backpack. So otherwise a Raidric will be just fine. Once you go north, you're gonna go west. So you're gonna reach the old, like the Glastheim castle area sort of deal, right? So we're gonna do this, run by all of these little creature thingies. Okay. Enter Glastheim. I'm gonna continue teleporting once I get in. Okay. You want to go here roughly to where the entrance for castle is in Glastheim, for those of you who know where that is. Otherwise you need to cross this bridge here, which is about the upper middle part of Glastheim, right? And you speak to this guy here called Hugin or Hugin, right? And you just speak to him a few times, creation of gap. And then we have to wait. While we're waiting, inside instance, you have two bosses. You have Corruption Root and Amdarais, right? The general drops that you're looking for in this instance are old card albums and coagulated spells. They look like tiny blue blobs, basically. You need 60 of these spells to make a attempt at temporal boots with enchants, like this one here, for example. If you're lucky enough, you can get the Lucky Day enchant, or you can get some shitty Muscle Fool, or there's a lot of other enchants you can get that drops in here, basically. There's a little bit of EXP, and there's some old purple boxes and Ygg berries, and all the mobs in here can drop the coagulated spells, by the way. This is worth mentioning, so make sure you don't miss them when they do drop. The drop chance is low, but the current market value is about 3 million per coag. So, I mean, they're definitely worth looking out for. EXP wise, it's decent. Time wise, there's a little bit of RNG to it. You should be able to clear the first part within 20 minutes if you're, I'm not gonna say slow, but not used to it. You see here, this is what I have on when I enter. I'm using double Rogue's Treasure. I highly recommend it. They're cheap and they give a lot of stats. Right now I'm not wearing my Devi backpack, but you enter Old Glast Heim. I'm also using a blue Qatar. So when you enter, you start by going north a little bit, and then you find this guy here, Barmut. You speak with him until he disappears, and you continue going north. You find him having a conversation ahead. Alright, so you speak to Heinrich. It looks like he's the dude in charge here. He's standing between all the knights. Himalays will appear, and they will have a long dialogue. At this point, it's going to take a couple of minutes. You can go get a drink, you can probably go down to the, okay, maybe not to the store, but it will take a few minutes. So, I mean, if you're not bothered waiting, there's nothing you can do to speed this up, I might add. What I like to do, I just wait here and put on my Leo crown, because there's going to be mobs here. Do not stand in the area here, because all of these mobs will turn, like all of these NPCs will turn into mobs, and they will attack you. So usually I'll be waiting here, just a little bit away, because that way I'll pull a few of these and I can use them to proc my Leo crown. If you're not wearing a Leo crown, then just don't bother with this, you can just stand there anyway. And they're gonna have a dialogue. It lasts for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or 4 maybe a bit less. Yeah, the translation on this server is absolutely dreadful. It's horrendous. I'm not sure if this is done on like the EU RO's fault, or if this is like Korea's little translation with Google Translate or whatever they're doing. I don't know, but it's just, if you're trying to make sense of it, Himmels has kidnapped the king and Heinrich is trying to get where he is. But yeah, it's a long ass conversation. Right, okay, so once it says that and disappears, all of these will turn into minions. See, I'm wearing the Leo crown. Right, I will change to Deviling backpack. So, trying to proc Mild Wind. Once we do that, I go west. Still gonna take a few more minutes now, or maybe 1 or 2. It's divided into basically a couple of parts. You have part 1, and the next one's part 2, part 3, 4, 5. Okay, up there. See here he shouts out. Go back to the darkness, blah blah blah. I'm using evil for just about all the parts in this instance. There's only one place I changed to deadly, so evil is your go-to armor. You need to have, I mean, you don't have to, but it's going to be rather painful if you don't. I'm switching over to my Rightward hat. I'm using a Bloodsucker as well as a Malicious and a Divine, so I mean I have loads of life steal, life leech, whatever you want to call it. Use 20 plus strength food and deadly poison. Soon there's gonna be another shout out here that blah 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 has opened, right? Up here. I'm gonna show you where it opens to. So if you look at minimap where I am, this is the first place you go. Here we go. Once you enter, you can go north a little bit to gather up all the mobs. There's no mobs past this point. So you go north, and then you... The thing is, you need to kill a specific amount, and I'll show you exactly how many you need to kill. So you need to drag all the mobs on this side. They're really slow and they're just like regular ghouls, but without evil armor they use a like a dead, like what's called, not dead, evil attack, something like that, soul strike-ish or ghost property attack or something. So this is why you need evil armor, otherwise they're going to shred you. So you just take them all here, see, run down, kill all of them, go to the left, oops, I forgot about one, not that. Right, and there's gonna be another room with wraiths. Now these can blind you, they don't really do much damage, but you need to get all of them. In order to do it the way I do it, I get them all. Now you don't have to AoE these if you can't do it, you can kill them one at a time. I'm just showing you how many you need in each room to be able to do this, because before the little kid spawns, you need a certain amount of mobs. So you kill all of these, and my EDP has run out, which is a bit of a problem. Right, so you kill all of these, and you backtrack a little bit if you look on the minimap where I am. You go up, and here you're going to be needing 3. Like 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is more, but I'm just gonna show you exactly what I mean. You kill these 3, I'm not gonna waste an EDP, and then the text will appear. See? So that's what you need, and then you can stand here instead of having to run all the way around. Talk to the kid, altar boy, just go through the dialogue. Instead of, otherwise you have to run all the way through. Then you go back to where you came from, because this is part 1, done. And you run across. This is where you all started, remember? Now you run across here to part 2. I dismount. Now if you go too close to these, they will spawn larvae. I'm just gonna show you what I mean. Right. Now these larvae hurt. They hurt a lot, there's a lot of them, and they hurt. So what you do north here, this is what I do anyway. You can dodge these by basically stealthing over them, like this. And then I unstealth here. So, because the thing is, again, you need a certain amount of kills, and this is the route that I found to be the most effective. Now, they don't always spawn like this, so sometimes the templates for spawning will vary. But if you do the route I'm doing, you should be able to pick up all the ones you need when you reach the end. So before you proc this one here, you kill all of these. I use greed after each pack just to make sure I don't miss any. Stealth to make sure I don't get hit by a trap. Take a right here. Keep to the right side basically. I think it's like 3 squares you need to be away from the trap to make sure it doesn't trigger. Because the thing is, for most people without my gear and levels and dodge, those traps will kill you. Like a ranger, you will insta die here if you get hit by a trap probably. So I'm gonna kill these. I'm going south now, by the way, from where I came. Sorry, my camera is spinning a little bit. You go back here. I'm trying to show you as well as I possibly can exactly how I do this and why. Because you want to be able to get as many mobs on you as possible in as short time as possible to shorten the duration of this instance. Because, I mean, let's face it, we don't want to be here. It's not actually just about what we want, it's also about the fact that when you reach a later part, it's a little bit luck-based, so you want to have as much time on you as possible to make sure the instance doesn't close, because it took too long. So... get all of these, watch out for the trap. Now, my mild wind has run out, but it's okay, it's not really a big deal. I mean, it helps, but it's not necessary, really. If I wanted to, you could just pop a fire converter, but the problem is, I'm soon done with the zombie parts, and once you reach the next part, you don't want to have a fire weapon, so mild wind, I will not be using that again, because even if you switch weapons, mild wind stays, and that's a problem. So, I'm just gonna leave it without for now. So you kill all of these. Go up here. Now we've basically almost covered the entire second area. So once we get up past this point, there's only these mobs left. Now this varies a little bit. Sometimes you'll need to kill more than the ones downstairs, because there'll be a couple up here as well, to my right. But that does not appear to be the case this time. They've all spawned down here, except one. So when I kill this pack here, the text will appear. And we'll be done with this part. There we go, see? Again, you have to stand really close to the wall, spin your camera, and talk to the smith. Again, this saves us time from having to run around the entire thing and trigger multiple traps. So you run back, out, stealthed, like this. And then you go back north. Keep to the left side. Go to the left again, then you'll find a portal just about here. Let me see if I am. Now this is part 3. Okay. So you enter. Make sure you do not have fire enchanted weapon here and that you have the evil armor on, because otherwise this will be very painful. These hurt quite a bit, so if you're unsure, don't AoE them like I'm doing right now unless you know that you can handle it. As you can see, I don't really have a problem here, but now, as this is for GX, okay, I will highly suggest, okay, all of these archers will hit a lot. So you do hallucination walk, stealth, right, and you try to get them to make sure you don't get more than like 1 or 2 archers on you at the same time, because they will use a knockback, and not only will it be painful, it will be annoying as all fucking hell. Alright, so you do this, and yeah, they walk around a little bit, so it can be a little bit annoying. Let's see, they're probably gonna knock me back soon at some point anyway. This, so yeah, like the usage of hallucination walk is it's incredible here, because it means less times getting hit, which means more or less damage taken, which means you don't get knocked back as much. And getting knocked back is incredibly annoying. I think we can all agree on that. Unless you have a burning hill, at which point then good for you. I do not. So, and then you go up here, there's another room of regular raid rigs. They don't knock you back, but they do hurt quite a bit, so... like this, alright. Another one. The only problem with Hallow Walk is that you get slowed down afterwards. So you have to make sure you kill everything, right? Because that's basically, again, this whole instance is about killing a certain amount of mobs, except the last part, which is a bit luck-based. So, try to kill everything you see, make sure you don't leave anything behind. Try to just not get hit by it. I am going to kill the archers, I want... yeah, exactly, I want these. And I got knocked back, right. So stand in the middle here with holding... Oh, I realized I was going to be able to reach that guy. Okay. Right. So you kill these archers here. You can also cross Ripper Slasher them, like you can spin and then cross Ripper Slasher, spin, cross Ripper Slasher. So you go south here when you arrive at the middle of the third part. Go down, take a left. Try to gather up all the mobs you can in this room here. Sometimes there's a lot, sometimes there's not. And you go north, get another few. And that appears to be all of these. Okay. So you kill them. There's an archer that spawns. Sometimes they spawn in really wonky places. Like, they're not supposed to spawn in here, the archers, but sometimes they do anyway. Now, ahead we're gonna have a potential problem, okay? Because they tend to spawn in huge groups up here. Now, this is a... like, you will die if you're not careful here. See? They're like this. This is... But if you spin like this, or you have, like, some form of way to prevent them from firing at you. You don't necessarily need to kill all of them, but you should try to kill at least like 90% of all the archers up here. Like, okay, here we go. See, that's exactly what I was talking about. But this is a little bit dangerous. Okay, I'm gonna get knocked back now. No? Okay. Usually you get knocked back if there's that many archers on you. Use my Cross Ripper to take out one of them. It might be because my flea is fairly high, that's probably why I'm not getting knocked back. Refresh your EDP, by the way. In this room, be very careful, there's a lot of Raidricks. Now, I will be trying to AoE all of them, because I have the lifesteal to do so, and I'm 172. With the Deviling, mind you. Otherwise, just kill them one by one, or two by two, whatever you need. There's like, you don't have to AoE them like I'm doing now, I'm just doing this for time, basically. Yeah, and I get knocked back. Apparently there's a normal Raidrick in here. Right, so if we look at the map where I'm right now, so you have passed the hall with the archers and now you've gone south. So and then you take a left. Now at this point it's a little bit iffy because you will have to kill quite a bit of stuff in here depending on how many mobs you killed before. I would guesstimate that I need to clear this room and a couple of mobs in the next room, and then I'll be and then the boss will, you'll get a message on your screen when you've killed enough. So don't despair, you won't be able to miss it. It's just annoying to have to kill more and more and more sometimes. So let's see here. It might be enough if I just kill these two, potentially. No? Okay. And you just keep going north here, like as you see, I've almost cleared the entire left side on the third part. Like, this room you need to watch out for above me. Hopefully I won't have to go in there. I'm really trying to avoid it if I can. Because that room is just annoying. Maybe... No? Okay. We'll see if this should be enough then. Sometimes you have to kill... There we go, right, okay. So, when this text appears, if you look at where I'm right now, basically down, this is where you need your deadly armor, okay? Because I go deadly armor and I go liberation here. And then you run back to this place. See where I'm on the map? You have to run closer to spawn in. Okay. And then there's gonna be a little bit of a dialogue for like a minute maybe. You will all die here. I use a fire converter here as well, because this boss is weak to fire. And I use weapon block. And EDP of course. So this is where the first boss is going to be. Now deadly armor is essential here. Otherwise he will stone curse you and soul strike you and you will have a horrible, horrible time because you will die. So I go up and I stand there right behind him, because the boss will spawn on top of me, more or less. They disappear. You need to have green potions with you on this part as well, by the way, I forgot to mention that. Or panaceas, or be immune to silence, because it does silence you. You're gonna see him doing it to me soon. There we go, silence. That green pot, continue to spin. There we go, he is dead. Usually he'll drop an old card album, he didn't. I got a lousy... Don't forget, like, you loot and then you talk to this guy, because he will give you an extra quag. If it's your first time, he'll probably give you... No, it's one, it's the next one's 5. Right, okay. So, you loot this guy. Switch back to malicious, switch back to evil, for the love of God. Do not wear deadly after this point. So, this is the only place you use the deadly armor on. Loot, blah blah blah, speak to this guy. Walk up the stairs to your north. Okay, that's part 3 done. Now it's part 4 and 5. Part 4 and 5 is basically the same thing. Don't have weapon block on here either. This is where it turns into a bit of a luck fest, right? I started 126, so I've been here for, what is that, 36. I've been here for about 16 minutes now. Which is okay. It's a decent run so far, so I do EDP. Halo Walk should be off CD again. I recommend using it as soon as you come in. Right, you do Halo Walk. Now you need to kill these packs, right? So when you kill these packs, there's a chance to spawn the mini-boss. Watch out for the meteor stones. You should not be attempting to take more than 1 pack at a time here. The packs will spawn in the corners, as you can see where I'm going. There's gonna be 1 archer, 1 abysmal knight, 1 meteor dude, and 1 Kalitzberg in each pack, and a Raidrick. You kill them, they can all drop a quag. The Raidrick archer can knock you back, which is why Halo Walk is an amazing thing here. Usually you can pull... Okay, now they spawned right on top of me, it's fine because I'm in Halo Walk. Just don't forget to greed, because even 1 quag is a couple of millions, or if you accidentally die, it will make up for that death. If you're lucky enough to get one. There we go. No. See, that can fool you and make you believe that they actually spawn, but there we go, that's the thing you want to see. When this text appears, that means the mini-boss has spawned, right? Now, he can spawn in 4 areas. He can spawn top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right on the first part. So we're gonna check the bottom right part first, because we're closest to that one. He does not appear to be in this one, okay. So, remember, it's in the corners of the first part here that he can spawn. So this is another one of the places. No, not here either. Now, keep in mind, if you have Deviling, now it's a good time to take it off, because he does do a high level Magnum Break, which will almost insta-kill you. Okay, so he's going to be in the top right corner this time, because I've checked all the other corners. So, let's have a look at him. Where is he? Where is he? Right, okay, so here he is. See, he looks like that. Now, if you kill any other mob, there's a chance of him respawning and disappearing. Don't do it. Just pull him away and kill him on his own. Because sometimes I'll accidentally pull him and a couple of other mobs, and then I'll kill the other mobs first, and he will disappear because he respawned somewhere else. Yeah, that's pain in it. He hits a bit when he gets on low health. Right, okay, so this part is done. Got a little bit lucky there, which is great. Switch back over to Deviant. You go back out to the main corridor, backtrack, and then you take a right to the east, okay? When you go in, there will be archers to greet you, and they will say hi and all that. You can kill 1 or 2, and then you go south. There's gonna be some abysmal knights. I basically just use them as fodder. You should not be, again, attempting to do exactly what I'm doing if you're not sure you can deal with it. You take 1 more pack. It's the same thing as the last room, basically. We want to be able to mass kill them. They give some XP, not much. They can drop quags. But more importantly, they can spawn the boss. Mini-boss, sorry. This is the last part before the last boss. So once we spawn this guy and kill him, we'll be at the last boss. Just be very careful, because some of these packs, they do really hurt. Like, I was going to, like, purposely let you see me die, but I'm not in the mood to waste millions for that. But yeah, they do hurt a lot, so be very careful. You should never mass pull the big Bloody Knights, because they're meteors. Storm or meteor rain or whatever it's called. It does a lot of damage since we're wearing evil armor. Okay, I can't be bothered waiting for this guy. So basically, run around. There'll be these spawn areas. I would recommend just walking through them in like a circular motion, like clockwise or counterclockwise. They respawn pretty fast. You can usually only you basically only maybe like 3 points that you can run between. Yeah, careful up here, there's gonna be a couple of these Bloody Knights. I will probably kill them. They're called Swollen Knights, my bad. I will usually kill them 1 by 1, because it's just, with Deviling on, it is so painful. Due to their meteor. Not their regular attacks, but their meteor. So just not. Okay, here's 2. That should be okay. Be ready with backslide, because if they get on low health, you could just backslide the fuck away. Okay. Again, don't attempt what I'm doing now, this is pretty dangerous stuff. I could probably die here because I'm cocky. No? And no mini-boss either. Well, that is a shame. Anyways, you just continue killing stuff here basically, just like in the first part, until you see the text. The more you can kill and the faster you can kill, the better. Because this is RNG. This is the essence of Ragnarok, more or less. It's, oh god, yeah, and they knocked me back, and you can... It's pretty painful. So life leech or life steal, I can't remember which one it's called. Alright, do this. I've actually been here an entire hour without getting him to spawn. I've also spawned him on the first mob, so it's completely random. I've tried all kinds of patterns and only killing certain mobs, and there's no real pattern that I can see myself anyway. Again, there's going to be a couple of Abysmal Knights here. I'm choosing to pull all of them into one large pack, just to speed things up, or possibly speed things up anyway. Have I gotten any random quags? No, I have not. The one I had is from a quest. So okay, you pull these 4 here, and then there's another pack, there's an archer, there's a couple of Kalitzbergs. Now this is a little bit dangerous because I'm pulling a lot of mobs here. I'm trying to get him to spawn basically. You can kill him one by one, but as you can see the meteors almost killed me there. And I haven't seen him spawn yet. This is getting a little bit annoying. Sometimes they'll spawn really fast and sometimes they'll take absolutely forever. There's no real trick to this. Getting him to spawn, I mean. It's just basic grind it out and hope for the best. Oh god, apparently a pack has spawned double here, as you can see. There's like 2 of everything. Watch out for the archers. They're not called Archer of Death for nothing. Okay. Even with that, we still haven't spawned him yet. Little bit annoying. As you can see, basically if you stand next to his wall, turn around and backslide, you'll go right into the mob pack. There's a few tricks like that that you can pick up later on. I have a feeling he should be spawning fairly soon though. I mean, I hope so. Usually it won't take longer than this. So I mean, if you can reach this part in like the first 15 to 20 minutes, you have 40 minutes of killing mobs. Even if you're unlucky to finish this part, so... Well, okay, maybe not 40 since there's a little bit of a dialogue and you need to be able to kill the last boss as well. Which is pretty fast for me, but... As you can see, so am I with killing these packs, but I still haven't gotten him to spawn yet. So there, you know, the RNG factor is fairly large. At least at this point in instance. Not really sure why they made it like that though. If you're up to me, they would have done it like kill 50 mobs to spawn the mini-boss, or spend 10 minutes in each section, or something like that. It's just complete... There we go, okay, spawned. Alright. See if we can find... Now what I do here is I switch over to Mild Wind Crown. Here it is, he's green, the other one was red. Now as I said, remove your Deviling, you will not use it anymore now. If you have one. Raid we can still find. It's just that Deviling increases damage taken. Here we go, I have Mild Wind on. Yeah, Deviling increases damage taken by elements as well. So you Dark Claw him, you kill him. Alright. Here we go. I mount up. Now we run back to where we came from. Now we're going for the last boss. Run out. There was the first part, this is the second part, and then you just run up. And now this place is opened. Now stealth here, because as you can see, there's a lot of these traps, okay? And you can trigger them by just walking nearby. So, I unhide and I go near Himmelmiss. Himmelmiss? Right. There's gonna be a dialogue here. So I switch over to Liberation. I still keep Evil on though. No Deviling, for the love of God. Do not use Deviling. Because this guy will use Magnum Break, and it will literally do about 50k with Deviling on. It's not very nice. As you can see, we still have Hallucination Walk of City now. We're going to be using that for this boss. Hit-wise, I have 477, and that seems to be sufficient. Hi, so the dialogue goes on and on and on. So in the meantime, we can just buff up. We can use Weapon Block and Deadly Poison. And yeah, again, the translations are absolutely atrocious. Feet on New Creation Amdarise. Alright, okay, sure dude. Right. Now, if you take too long with this fight, he will spawn ads. like you'll spawn Swollen Knights and Abysmal Knights and Archers and all kinds of crap. So see these, now would be a good time to use them. See when this bubble appears, now is a good time to press Hallucination Walk. You see here, there, now. So you press Hallow Walk. Now just a little bit of a trick to this, because his hitbox isn't, like, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Right, you go like this. If I stand spin here, he can reach me back, so you have to run right into him and start spinning to be able to be ready to use green pots as well, because he does silence and confuse you. But yeah, Hallucination Walk is on right now, so just give it all you have to kill him. If he hits you with Magnum Break, heal it up instantly or you will die. Like I'm doing right now. So he hits me once, heal it back up instantly. And he's dead. He drops all card albums and blah blah blah. When you've killed him, make sure you greed or loot everything. His card is worth a fortune. Speak to Hugin again. Go through dialogue, and you're back here. Okay, we're not done yet though. So the instance is cleared, but there's more to be gained from this. So we stealth and we go back to where we came from. Now this is where the instance gets really rewarding. And I'm sorry about the slowness here because I used Hallow Walk, so go back out. We're basically going to backtrack quite a bit now, because there is a secret room that has tons of coagulated spells in it. So you keep walking backwards. Do this. Now we're gonna come back to where the Ragnarok part was, if you guys remember that. Here is where we first fought the first boss. Run back to the right side here. This is where we enter the Ragnarok part over here. So we're basically running back to part 2 of the instance. Right, okay. So this is where we cleared part 2. So instead of going into the Ragnarok, so you go back and then you take a north, like you go north. And you find this garden area here. You run up, click the fountain, just left click it. And now you're in the secret room here in the middle. First glance it doesn't really look very exciting, but every time you click one of these statues, you can only click them once. They will, yeah, as you can see, they give coagulated spells and they give vendor loot, but mostly it's the coags you're after. So, also the bullions, you want to pick them up as well, because they vendor for a couple of 100k and stuff like that. The pearls, whatever, but the bullions and the coags in particular. There's also silversmith bracelets that drop here, that's one of those. Alright. So, I only got one old card album in this instance. The other one was from the... Usually they drop one each on the bosses, depending on how lucky you are. The run took me... Right, it took me about 20 to 23 minutes. A bit slow, 24 maybe, depending on how lucky you are. And I've stopped a few times just to show you guys. Right, so I have 9 quags from this run, and I have some bullions. And I got one old card album and some EXP. That concludes this run. I hope you find it helpful, and if you have any questions whatsoever, just let me know. Make sure you click all the statues, by the way, before you exit the instance. And that will be it. Follow me on Twitch for more videos, and thank you for watching. Alright, bye!